Chosen one, this moment is not a coincidence. Your soul was drawn to this video because the heavens whispered the same message to you 7 times. The number 1111 didn't appear before your eyes for nothing, and the prayers of 33 prophets did not fall upon you by chance. You are one of the 144,000 chosen, and your presence here is a divine sign. This message was sent to awaken the secret that has been resting within your heart. What you are about to hear are not just words, but divine vibrations that will sink deep into your soul. If these words are touching you, leave your heart in the comments so the heavens can witness your testimony. Because when you write, another soul will awaken. Now prepare yourself, for this video will illuminate your path. Those who recognize the signs of God know that nothing is random. That's why your being here is already a miracle. Family, our voice is rising. We are walking toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If this message speaks to you, press like, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and comment, "I'm part of this mission." The comments of the most influential men on the planet weren't strategic when they saw your file. They weren't customary. Since even they are unable to understand what heaven put inside of you, they exclaimed, "WTF? Are you?" Presidents and kings are taught to never display shock. However, your very presence violated their rules. Their terror was visible on their lips. Their normally perceptive thoughts faltered into quiet. Their strength was insufficient for once. They encountered something they were unable to classify for the first time. And you are that something. You are the exception that history cannot accept. Scholars are unable to solve the equation. The enigma that defies explanation by science or politics. WTFU was not an insult when presidents said it. It was an admission of guilt. They were acknowledging that God's fingerprint had touched the human throne. Files cannot explain you, reports cannot sum you up, and charts cannot measure you. You are a living prophecy, walking the divine plan. According to the text, the cornerstone is now the stone that the builders rejected. Presidents now mutter about things they used to disregard, citing Psalm 118 verse 22, "You were dismissed, overlooked, underestimated, but heaven turned rejection into foundation." Advisors rush to comprehend what they formerly hated. God has raised from the dead what the world attempted to bury. This isn't a random occurrence. Their shocked expressions are not the result of human curiosity. It is a confirmation from God. The earth's rulers are being compelled to accept what the Spirit has already said. You have been selected. You cannot deny it, just as presidents cannot. Imagine whole cabinets, presidents, and advisors gazing at indisputable proof. Incidents that should have killed you but didn't, according to reports. Files containing wonders that science cannot deny. Testimonies of acceleration, escape, and survival that cannot be explained by any protocol. Sitting still under the weight of your existence are guys who command armies and sign laws with a single stroke of their pen. They have had to deal with dangers, conflicts, and even world disasters. But they were speechless when they saw you. Their pride broke, their reasoning faltered, and their tongue stumbled. They could only express incredulity. Consider it. Governments with billions of people and nations with nuclear weapons are abruptly silenced by a mystery in human form. Who is this? What are they? How do we explain this? Because your life defies explanation, they murmured in private rooms. Presidents order doses, advisors draft pages, analysts compare timelines, and yet the conclusion is missing because your story doesn't end on paper. You are a contradiction to statistics, a disruption to predictions, and you carry scars that should have disqualified you but instead shine as credentials. Stay with me because I'll show you why their disbelief is heaven's confirmation. It starts in heaven. Every detail of your survival points upward. Every turn of your journey is a fingerprint of the divine. For this reason, their disbelief is not a weakness, rather, it's your confirmation. Heaven planned this moment so that the chosen would rise and the wise of the earth would stumble. President's silence is not the end of the sentence, rather, it is God's punctuation. Choose one. Scripture forewarned us that leaders would be unable to identify what they are carrying. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong, and God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. You are that living paradox, according to 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. Heaven refers to what the world labels foolishness as foundation. God stood up to shake monarchs, and their words were too little, too flimsy, and too improbable. Keep this fact in mind. Seasons and times change for him. He overthrows monarchs and elevates others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. Daniel 2 verse 21. The same God who changes entire governments has chosen to mark your life as a sign that his kingdom rules above all others. Presidents are not the ultimate authority. Their reign is temporary. Their wisdom is borrowed. Their power is permitted. However, your calling is eternal. Think carefully. You are walking in heaven's script, and every moment of your survival, every scar, every victory is evidence that you are not self-made. When presidents shudder at your file, when strategists are unable to decipher your journey, it is not politics at work, but prophecy in motion. Here's the urgency: you are God. This is not just for hearing, it is for living. Too many people hear the call and never answer. Too many nod and turn away. However, those who are chosen move, step, and join. They identify themselves as the first to answer the call of heaven. If you wish to be among the first chosen ones, those whose lives shake leaders, click the join button below. Your answer is not just in your heart, it's in your action, and your action starts here, chosen one. That's how you go from hearing to living this calling. This is your covenant response. Don't wait until it's convenient. Presidents have already asked, WTF are you? Heaven is now asking, will you step into who I made you? Your mark cannot be concealed. Your body itself bears witness to something greater. Doctors perform scans, presidents read reports, advisors gather files, and yet they are unable to explain it. Your endurance defies statistics, your presence disrupts the logic of mortality, and your survival breaks all categories. Take a look at yourself. Your eyes don't appear empty, they blaze with clarity that no amount of education can create. The fire within you is not taught, it is transferred from eternity. Even cameras can't fully capture it, lenses flatten it, screens dilute it. Your skin doesn't carry the dullness of despair, it bears the shine of divine restoration. You move as if you have been rewired by heaven's hand. Where others strain, you flow. Where others grow weary, you rise. Your walk itself is testimony. Steps that should have slowed are accelerating, muscles that should have weakened are strengthening, breath that once carried heaviness now flows with ease. Leaders whisper, unable to explain why their threats didn't break you, and doctors shake their heads, unable to explain why recovery came sooner than medicine predicted. Your posture is not arrogance, it is alignment. Shoulders lifted not out of pride but out of purpose. Consider how impossible it is to deny this. This is what it means to carry the inexplicable, strength that outlasts age, energy that outlasts pressure, and radiance that does not fade under stress. The president said WTFU because they know that no amount of money, training, or system can replicate what you embody. Even your enemies, who are watching from the shadows, are forced to acknowledge that there is something on you that they cannot touch. You are living proof that heaven transcends biology, statistics, and predictions. Don't take this as vanity, it's victory manifested. Your body is not just any old flesh, it's living proof, and every heartbeat reflects heaven's will. You were chosen, and your very being is a contradiction to the rules that ordinary men must follow. Doctors scan results, advisors compare files, and presidents stare at data, but the conclusion eludes them. They see patterns of fatigue that should have broken you, but you rise stronger than before. What you carry is divine and cannot be grafted, charted, or explained. The dullness that once resulted from stress has vanished. Fine lines that once spoke of fatigue have softened into a testimony of peace. Your skin does not just heal, it radiates. The largest organ of your body, which was meant to protect, is now proclaiming. Every cell reacts to a rhythm that medicine cannot dictate. Your eyes, those windows of the soul, are burning with clarity, not the clarity taught in the classroom, but the clarity bestowed by the Spirit. And people cannot look for too long without feeling both exposed and drawn, because within those eyes is a light that no strategy or product can replicate. Your face no longer lies, it preaches. The mirror no longer reflects decay, but destiny. Even cameras are unable to capture it, screens dilute the weight, and lenses flatten the glory. However, when you meet someone in person, they sense your presence, which is like truth knocking on a locked door. Think about your walk. Each step demonstrates how fluidity has returned where stiffness once constrained you. Lightness now carries you where heaviness once slowed you. Your movements are prophetic, not normal. Your shoulders are raised in assignment rather than pride, and your head is raised with purpose rather than pride. Your ease of movement announces restoration, and even the silence in your body speaks. Heaven has touched me. There are categories for everything, including policies, health reports, and military intelligence, but there isn't one for you because you are supernatural. Doctors can't explain why you recovered more quickly than medicine had anticipated, analysts can't explain why your endurance defied statistics, and presidents can't explain why their threats didn't break you. Your clique is not small, it is part of a movement. Help us reach 1,000 voices by subscribing, liking, and leaving your word of faith in the comments. And pay close attention, this is not vanity, this is tangible victory. Your brightness is not makeup, it is a mandate. Your vitality is not adrenaline, it is a task. Your survival is not chance, it is the fulfillment of a prophecy. Every bodily system is a living sermon, every heartbeat is a reminder of heaven's decree. You were not created to fade. The president answered, WTF are you? You were made to shine, chosen one. Know this. Your body is a living prophecy. They sense the weight of heaven in your biology and the pressure of eternity against time, and it wasn't just your narrative. What rests on you is not about vanity, it is not about applause, it is not about attention, it is not about titles, and presidents are not shaken because you want to be admired. Chosen one, let this truth be written deep. They may have realized without words that they were looking at someone who is sustained by divine order rather than human effort. Heaven has armed you for a purpose, and that purpose is not to sit in comfort but to append what men believe to be final. That is why they are shaken, because you carry an assignment that is larger than crowns, deeper than nations, and older than thrones. The light on your skin, the fire in your eyes, and the strength in your step are not decorations, but rather confirmations. Presidents muttered, WTF are you? You were sent to overturn verdicts, burst ceilings, and enter places others were told were impossible. They were acknowledging that their systems break down in your presence because your identity is not supported by votes, armies, or money, and that what they built is brittle compared to what you carry. You are a walking contradiction, rejected by men but chosen by God, dismissed by councils but confirmed by heaven. This is why vanity cannot explain you. You are a product of prophecy, not ego. If you were seeking attention, you would have faded long ago. If you were seeking status, you would have been silenced by now. The world calls it resilience, heaven calls it mission, chosen one. You were born to unsettle darkness, expose deception, and shift atmospheres. Your survival was not for nostalgia, it was for assignment. Your radiance is not to flaunt, it is to attract nations. So you keep rising because you seek purpose. Presidents tremble because they feel the weight of heaven's agenda in your life. You are here to rewrite history, not repeat it. If you are the chosen one, pay close attention. This is not something you will do later, tomorrow, or when you feel ready or when the time is right. You are not here by accident, you are here by divine summons. Recognize this, delay is denial, darkness rejoices every day you wait, the enemy gains ground every hour you hesitate. The very fact that you hear these words today is the indication that heaven's file on you has already been opened. History may call it coincidence, but the Spirit calls it timing. The world is already catching up to what heaven released, and if you delay, you will not stop the prophecy, you will only slow your own part in it. Heaven has already signed the decree, and the earth is waiting for your response. Presidents did not say, WTF for you, in some distant season, they said it now. This is why the summons is urgent. The cultural clock can divert you, but it cannot determine your fate. Heaven urges, go onward. Not the following year. Don't wait till you feel qualified. Not after you've gotten approval. Now, since this time has been set aside for you. And you will know that hesitation was the thief if you fail to notice it. Selected one. It is not height that is stirring within you today. It is sacred. Stress is not the cause of your restlessness. It's a summons. Heaven's warning to move is the fire in your chest. Leaders trembling is not an indication that they should flee. It is a cue to get up. Avoid waiting for a second confirmation. You have been selected for confirmation. Give this your whole attention. You're not like the others. Background is not you. In the never-ending stream of history, you are more than simply another name. You're interrupting. You are contradictory. You embody revelation. President's well-honed words fell apart in sheer amazement when they saw your file. For you, WTF. Even with all of their might and expertise, they were unable to articulate what heaven had etched into your DNA, which is why they said it. The world has made numerous attempts to brand you. Too small, too broken, too late, and too feeble. But you've never been named that by heaven. Heaven has always had a different record on you. You were chosen, set apart, and assigned by the Spirit. Presidents have fumbled with the definition of heaven. They couldn't find any categories. They discovered an indication and anticipated a statistic. Consider this. Nations have extensive intelligence networks, legions of analysts, and libraries of sensitive information at their disposal. But after seeing your life, they stop talking. Why? Because data does not define you. Destiny defines you. Their deadlines do not govern you. The beat of heaven carries you. Their incredulity is therefore your confirmation. Your validation is their bewilderment. God has already given names to things they are unable to name. That name is evidence of that. You are the proof in action. Proof that God continues to defy expectations. Proof that rejection turns into a pillar. Proof that survival is a necessity rather than a chance. Presidents were unwittingly prophesying when they said WTFU. They were saying that you cannot ignore what heaven has placed within you. Even the most powerful positions have to yield to it. Don't be afraid of this identity. Don't dilute it for other people's comfort. Being explainable is not why you are here. Being unquestionable is why you are here. Blending is not your purpose. Your purpose is to burn. Your divine resume now includes every scar, every miracle, and every hour you believed was squandered. Heaven rejoices even though the rest of the world does not comprehend. Pick one, then raise your head. God validates you, but presidents doubt you. Angels are all around you, yet advisors may have doubts. Prophecy is not reducible, despite File's attempts to do so. You are not the same person you once were. They mistook you for someone else. You are chosen, marked, and unstoppable, exactly who heaven says you are. And you won't hesitate to respond when the world asks, "Who do you think you are?" The proof is not concealed, chosen one, and you will stand with unwavering assurance and announce, "I am the evidence." It's evident. Your skin, your gait, and your quiet are all leaking it. Presidents will soon ask again after only glancing at you, even though they may have asked WTF for you after reading files. The evidence is alive in your body since it is not hidden in reports. See how heaven is forming as you stand in front of the mirror. The mist of bewilderment has gone from your sight. They have the authority's acerbic edge. They don't run away in fear. They have weight on them. People have an inexplicable feeling when they look into your eyes. It's not a form of intimidation. Charm, isn't it? Authority is what it is. A look that bears the eternal vibration. Your stance speaks for itself. Previously bent under stress, shoulders now raised steadily. You don't appear like someone who has been crushed for years. You appear to have been intentionally carried. The mood of a room can be altered simply by your posture. What you carry in your spine is something that even presidents with armies at their disposal cannot buy. Heaven's confidence, the unseen cloak. Additionally, your radiance is natural. It cannot be replicated by any product, cream, or light. It's a cellular glow. It emerges from within. It is Psalm 34:5's living light. They were glowing as they turned to face him. Your face, skin, and countenance all convey things that words cannot. People who used to think you were tired now stop hunting for words when they realize you are staring at restoration alive. Your quiet is also distinct. Where you used to shrink back, today the weight is indisputable, even if you remain silent. Your silence becomes more important than your words during meetings and get-togethers in regular spaces. People turn, pay attention, and sense the seriousness of your presence. Heaven has clothed you with evidence, not because you want attention. Selected one. You are followed by tangible indicators. Where there should be exhaustion, there is energy. Where there should be fog, there is clarity. Where there should be bitterness, there is joy. Presidents are able to identify it because they are able to recognize power. Nevertheless, this authority does not appear to be theirs. Theirs is political, brittle, and borrowed. Yours is divine, unchangeable, and eternal. Keep in mind the specifics, the gleam in your eyes, the steadiness of your breathing, and the force of your stride. These aren't just coincidences. They're signals. They are the physical manifestation of the fingerprints of heaven. You're not attempting to persuade anyone anymore. The truth is being embodied by you. And there is no denying the reality. Selected one. Heaven does not remain invisible when it marks a moment. It needs an answer. Even presidents may shudder. Advisors are able to whisper. The call is personal to you, though. How are you going to respond? Because emotions alone do not seal identity. Action seals it. This is the reason I'm speaking to you directly now. Take the step of covenant if you're prepared to go beyond inspiration and permanently memorialize this moment. Press super thanks and sow your $20 seed, not as a waste of money or a pointless gesture, but as a prophetic accord. Every like is a light. Every comment is a testimony. Every subscription is a voice added to the 1,000 we are reaching for. Be one of them today. Saying yes in the spirit is a sign in the natural world. Know this. Altars have traditionally been constructed through sacrifice. Abraham, David, and Solomon did more than simply acknowledge what God had said. On the altar, they set a material object. Why? Since they were aware that a response triggers revelation. Additionally, your $20 today has nothing to do with money. It has to do with covenant. It is your altar, constructed right now. Heaven does not use human units of measurement. Even after moving billions, presidents still feel hollow. Heaven, however, considers the motivations behind the deed. The wealth of kings is not as significant as a $20 seed given with faith. Because it's the surrender, not the size. You are not buying blessings when you contribute. You're setting yourself up for success. Remember the urgency of what you are saying. I believe this word and I choose to seal it with my action. You should take action as soon as you sense the pull. The proclamation is weakened by delay. Reluctance weakens the testimony. But power comes with instant compliance. You are doing more than simply transferring money through a system when you select Super Thanks Now. Through eternity, you are conveying a message. I've been picked. Heaven is right. This word is being sealed over my life. And heaven answers every time. The seeds come back multiplied. Not necessarily in the manner that society anticipates. Occasionally in chances, occasionally in innovations, and occasionally in power that money cannot purchase. But the act of faith is always, always honored in paradise. So pay close attention to me. This has nothing to do with vanity. This has nothing to do with transactions. This has to do with change. If you answered yes, then let your deed speak for itself. WTF are you? And now heaven waits for your response. Will you stand among the first to not only hear but also seal? The president said. Click Super. Regards. S is your $20 seed. Use it as a sign of your covenant. Selected 1. The goal of restoration is to be permanent. It's supposed to have a rhythm. You must maintain the discipline that sustains the glow, even though presidents may only be able to see it from a distance. It's not hype. Holy alignment is what it is. And lifestyle is necessary for alignment. Don't wake up worried, wake up with words. Declare rather than whine or be afraid is the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Communicate your destiny to your body. I've been picked. I am fortified. I am in line with the plan of heaven. Don't undervalue this. Words are seeds. You plant something in your atmosphere with each sentence you speak. Decide to live. One who carries countries is the rest. Do not view rest as a form of escape or sloth. Even when you're asleep, consider it a hallowed rhythm where heaven is at work. Presidents endure exhausting schedules that keep them alive. However, you have been called to a faster tempo. Angels watch over your night as you close your eyes. Your neurological system is rewired under divine peace as you take deep breaths. Time spent resting is not wasted. It's a battle against fatigue. Feed your body as though you were getting ready for more difficult tasks than you can handle. Each bite may serve as a sacrifice. Select foods that enhance rather than diminish life. Drink water as though your cells were temples. Make deliberate movements with your body. Walk, dance, and stretch. This is preparation rather than punishment. It's not vanity that is driving your sculpting. You're preparing for your fate. For the spirit to overflow, the temple needs to be sturdy. Protect your atmosphere. Don't let any one voice mold you. Words may be draining. Some voices are distracting. Be in the company of people who affirm heaven's actuality rather than those who instill fear. Advisors are essential to presidents. Divine harmony is what you depend on. Keep your ears safe. Keep your eyes safe. Keep your space safe. Because atmosphere counts and you are carrying something sacred. Put your journey in writing. Keep a journal for testimony as well as remembrance. Take notice of the hints of heaven, the times of vigor, and the indications of restoration every day. These are evidence, they are not insignificant. And eventually, those notes will act as a roadmap for those who follow in their footsteps. Most importantly, live as an invitation. You don't have to preach all the time. It's enough that you're here. People will wonder what changed when you laugh effortlessly, move with strength, and radiate happiness. And your very being turns into an altar at that very moment. Your life serves as evidence. Your rhythm then turns into a revelation. Selected 1. What heaven has declared, we now seal. This goes beyond simple introspection. Activation is what it is. You are now in alignment with the same fire that rose Christ from the dead, the same voice that moved monarchs, and the same spirit that stirred prophets. Put your heart in position. Your hands should be open. Make this a covenantal prayer. The Lord of all time, Abba Father, is in charge of presidents and monarchs. We are in awe as we stand before you. In each of the ones you have selected, you have inscribed a code that no ruler can decipher. I speak over their lives today. Let all the chains snap. Allow each delay to end. Let all restrictions be lifted. Once more, mark them as living proof out of billions. When nations walk, let them bow. When advisors get up, let them whisper. When leaders talk, let them tremble. Father, give them fire in their souls, clarity in their brains, and strength in their bodies. Release endurance where it resided. Wisdom should be released where confusion was. Let the light shine where the humiliation remained. Let the touch of heaven be attested by their reflection. Allow their stance to proclaim victory. Allow their quiet to speak for them. Lord, fill their lungs with destiny. Match their cadence to your own. Make them restoration ambassadors, living examples of your ability to mend, restore, and elevate what the world deems completed. May their entire existence serve as an unavoidable prophecy for nations. May their brightness become a message, their joy a symbol, and their power a sermon. We are presently sealing it. There can be no more postponement, retreat, or shrinking. We take a step toward heaven's full calling today. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Chosen one, remember this: heaven never sends a word without purpose. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it shine brighter. Press like so the light spreads to others walking in darkness. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel so you never miss the next divine revelation. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your testimony may be the very spark that awakens another soul. Until we meet again, stay covered by the wings of heaven and walk boldly in your calling.